What is going on, family? How is everybody doing? I hope you are having a better day than Diddy, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you are having a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Listen, we're close to the end of the week. Come on now. midway. You can do it. You can do it. You can do it. Listen, fam, we got something to talk about. And listen, I hate to talk about it because I done talked about it enough and nobody listened to me. And now we in this situation. Antonio and I have talked about this. We have discussed this to no end. And here we are. Here we are. Now, you all know I cannot show the video of Diddy doing exactly what he did. I cannot show you that video. That was a dreadful, in all seriousness, I like to have fun, but in all seriousness, we got to talk about this. Now, hit the like button while you're in here. Just ping, 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 ping. Just hit that like button for me really quickly. Subscribe if you are new to the channel. We are trying to hit 100K. Please do not forget the Reparations Summit. Tickets are going. So please make sure that you do that. I think the hotel, last time I looked, is at like 88% from what we have blocked off. So we need to get the tickets so we can figure out if we got to block something else off and all that kind of stuff too. So please get your tickets to the Reparations Summit that is in New Orleans, October 3rd through the 5th. We're going to do our politics, have some good fun, and have some good food all at the same time. Okay? We one vacation this year. I told y'all. Now listen, how many times have I said to y'all, how many times that Diddy and this whole kind of arrangement of these moguls and everything they talk about, how many times have I said that these people are involved in social engineering and social programming to make you believe a thing that doesn't exist? Okay, but everything, no, Yvette, he's a mogul. It's a bias. It's a bias against ADOS men, Yvette. It's a bias. You just don't want to see a brother do well, Yvette. You just don't want to see. I said, no. This person is not who you think he is. It's easy to go outside and say, how many times I talked to y'all about that? Just say black excellence and click your heels 3, 4, 5 times. How many times did I say that? Now we see video of Diddy kicking and abusing, snatching her to the floor. I mean, that was hard to watch. That was the video of Diddy and Cassie was hard to watch. And people be like, where'd the video come from? y'all, like, people don't understand that the same people who hid the video and made sure it didn't reach the public this time, let it reach where it was supposed to reach at. Listen, these are when you are bought and paid for, and when your job is social engineering, when your job is to make Negroes believe a certain thing about themselves that's not true, and you start filing lawsuits and making them feel the opposite kind of way, what do you expect to happen? You were always on a short leash, baby. That's why they let you go do all that stuff. Go do all that stuff. Then we're going to have somebody come in there and do the tapes. But have somebody bum rush in there, right? But let me just start. This is like the best kind of, y'all remember this used to be Bad Boy headquarters. I want y'all to, let me bring this up a little bit. Y'all remember this? Bad Boy Worldwide. This is where all your hopes and dreams were, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody's hopes and dreams were Bad Boy. Oh my God. He has this office in New York. You don't understand, Yvette. This is going to be big. This is going to create generational wealth, Yvette. You don't understand. Now, this shuttered building with what looks like some people out front doing whatever they're doing is the best kind of, right now for me, representation of where we are now with Diddy. Let me tell you, I have told y'all before that the thing that you have most of all in your life is your attention. I have said that many a times. You have to master your attention. And so a lot of people, not the smart people here, but a lot of people have spent a lot of time investing their attention in what, ladies and gentlemen? Can anybody care to guess what everybody has invested their attention in? Can anybody care to guess? I'm here, 1, 2, 3. Anybody care to guess? Well, I will tell you. In Diddy. Right, you have believed that somehow, I don't even know how this happens, but somehow these people have convinced you. Somebody said, I thought he won't Nick said, I thought he won't stop. These people have convinced you that you live vicariously through him. So your empowerment came from watching him. Like you have people who have spent years not worrying about politics, not worrying about what we got to do, not worrying about collective uplift. Oh no, we're not worried about that. We worry about this, right? What you say, Nick? Can't stop, won't stop. That's what we worried about. We worry about that right there, right? Well, here comes the problem, ladies and gentlemen. Here comes the problem. The problem is it can stop whenever white folk want it to stop. Wait a minute. I'm not trying to be funny. I'm not trying to say I told you so, but I am going to say I told you so. Let me put that down for a second. Because he was a marketer. A marketer is not a boss. If you don't learn anything from this whole fiasco, I want you to walk away knowing what a boss is. Bosses have distribution, right? If you want to talk about being a boss, you have factories. You talk about distribution. You don't talk about being a marketer. That's not what we do. Remember what they told y'all? See, one of the problems here is, and one of the problems here, and it's a really big problem, but one of the problems here is this. They have made you believe, and when I say you, I don't mean the audience. I'm talking about everybody. They have tried to make the community believe that uplift is easy. Stop thinking important stuff can happen and it's just going to be easy. That's not how this works. We're not talking about that. What do you mean, Yvette? They told y'all empowerment. You could just buy some liquor and it was going to be empowerment. No. You ain't got to do nothing. You ain't got to organize. You ain't got to mobilize. You ain't got to do a bunch of stuff before you get to the vote. They told you all you have to do, ladies and gentlemen, all you have to do is go and buy some Ciroc and support black business. That's all these people do is want you to go do that. Hey, just go put some money in my pocket. He's a marketer, but it was easy. And we have a tendency to be lazy. Right, in terms of politics, and we feel like he's a boss, I can do it too. We feel like we live vicariously through people. Then all of a sudden, 20, 30 years into his reign, you see him throw a woman to the floor who all of probably 120 pounds and kick her. And now he's over with. All these years of, oh my God, his kids are going to be this, and they're going to be this, and they're all going to be this. It's over with. And you have wasted your time thinking that you didn't have to do politics because Diddy existed. And people like him existed. What's better than one billionaire too? I told you that was stupid when Jay-Z said it. And everybody said, who are you to say Jay-Z said something stupid? Who are you to say that? You don't have the kind of money that he has. Who are you to say something he said was stupid, Yvette? Who do you think you are? And now it turns out that, yeah, we don't need a bunch of billionaires. That's why not what we need. What we need is what, fam? We need collective uplift. Listen, if there's one thing I want you to do right now, I want you to figure out what empowerment means. I want you to define it for yourself. Right? I want you to define what that means, because empowerment for the community. Look at this one more time. I'm finna take it off screen, but I want you to look at it one more time. Because empowerment for the community, I'm not talking about one individual. Empowerment for the community cannot mean, ladies and gentlemen, that one person gets paid. Now let me go to the next little part. That's not what it means. You got to define that. This man had told us, remember, he told us, making sure you can read it again. I want you to show how liars lie, because this statement could have been written differently. It says, for the last couple of weeks, I have sat silently and watched people try to assassinate my character, destroy my reputation and my legacy. Sickening allegations have been made against me by individuals looking for a quick payday. He's talking about Cassie and a few other people who filed a lawsuit. Let me be absolutely clear. I did not do any of those awful things being alleged. I will fight for my name, my family, and we saw the video. The same thing that Cassie said in the lawsuit, we saw it. Cassie said in the lawsuit, he paid for the thing, and she was in the hotel, and he paid for the stuff, and he beat her, and he paid for the video. She said that he said use a lie. Now he said it unequivocally. Pay attention, fam. Pay attention to language, because we're gonna get back to the social engineering part and all of that part. But pay attention to language. He said unequivocally, I didn't do any of those things. He didn't say I've had bad days, but some of this stuff is exaggerated. He could have equivocated instead of calling her a bold-faced lie. He did that. Brother Love did that, ladies and gentlemen. Brother Love, Mr. Black Excellence, ladies and gentlemen, did that. Now, if he did that and he lied about that, you better wonder what else this man has been lying about in his life. You better wonder all that stuff where he talked about people talking about he was taking money from artists and stuff like that, and he's swooping down. No, the contract is the contract, whatever. And everybody said, well, that's just how music works. Well, what we gonna do? Somebody tell me what we gonna do. Are we gonna do uplift and we're gonna work together? We're gonna just do business. Because if we're trying to work together to a goal, then what is the difference between being exploited by you and being exploited by the white man? What's the difference? If I'm just going to be exploited, that's not collective uplift. If you just going to do me dirtier, as dirty or dirtier than him, what is the point? Because there's a good book I read a while back, and rest in peace, Andre Harrell, he said in the book, he said, and please pay attention, he said something that was very, very interesting. He said, when we did the label with Bad Boy, he said, we got the crumbs. Well, why is that interesting? He said, we got the crumbs. He said that you can't find the quote nowhere but in the book right now. He said, we got the crumbs, they got the cake. Well, see, Diddy was there to make you believe that they didn't get the crumbs, that they did get the cake. And there was possibility for him, and there was possibility for you, and it existed for all of us. That's why he was there. He wasn't there to make no music. Go back to, we've talked about the Telecom Act. It squashed all this stuff down to where we just had this top 100 stuff. This is him. But you gotta go back and think about what Andre Harrell said at that moment. So I want you to think about this. If you're only getting the crumbs, right? And if you decide, I want some money, but the record label has said, listen, your job is just to churn through people and help us find talent. Then your next thing has to be, well, I tell you what, since I can't get no big money, I'm gonna take all the crumbs. Like, the artists are not gonna get anything. Like, I'm just gonna take the crumbs from everybody and build something for myself, and I will market everything. You gotta understand, this man has had business with L'Oreal. This man has had business where he's had clothing. He's had everything. He's marketed everything, right? So but where was the collective uplift in all of that? How many other multimillionaires were made in all of that? See, a lot of y'all, and I mean the community when I say this, a lot of us would much rather have, a lot of us have a problem because we want to exploit people too. Not me, but we have a lot of people in our community. I would do the same thing and drive them. I'd exploit them too. I get the bag just like Diddy did. I'd do the same thing. That's the problem. The problem is in our community, we have a problem because people have adopted his moral code or his lack of a moral code. I do whatever too. A bunch of you ever seen this little thing? I showed it on here one time, I think. It was a bunch of ants sticking together during a flood because the only way they could survive was sticking together. We the ants. We are not the big moose going through the flood. That's not who we are. Running around as an ant talking about, no, we're wealthless people in a wealthy country. It ain't our fault, but that means we got to stick together. We can't adopt this kind of kill or be killed stuff. We can't adopt this kind of just. And why would you want to? Why would you want to adopt the moral code of these people who have done? It's with your people. I'm not talking about what you do outside of that. With your own people, why would you want to adopt this kind of get it how you live nonsense? Why? I do. You find out later on, oh, wait a minute, he didn't own none of that. Y'all, I can't tell you how many people argue with me that he owned all these liquor companies. I cannot tell you how many people argue with me. No, Yvette, you don't know what we're talking about. He owned all that stuff. Wait a minute, where y'all at? Where all of y'all at? All the way back to my Facebook times, y'all done argue with me that he owned all this stuff. So where is it then? See, let me introduce y'all to something. Most of y'all remember when I talked about Edward Bernays and I talked about social engineering. When I talked about social engineering, what I talked about was how people, how they control our thoughts by what they decide to do. That has not gone away. It's just gotten better, and they use our own people to do it. So I just want to bring up two quick clips because I know not everybody was around during that Edward Bernays and social engineering propaganda period. Okay. Ewan, whatever the child's name is, who has studied the writing of Bernays for years and had authored books on captains of consciousness. You think about that name, captains of consciousness. And consent engineering was probably not surprised to hear this hierarchical vision of society where people in power shape the attitudes of the general population. Right up to the end of his life, Bernays held fast to his belief that leadership would come from an elite, technocratic few who would shape the masses' reality and thus produce a better society. Well, what are they saying, Yvette? They're saying that this man right here was telling you the reason he told you he wanted to buy the Panthers because he gets us all excited, oh, emotional. Yeah, we got a black owner. Diddy doing it big. He finna buy the Panthers. Remember I told y'all that was stupid. I said, this man ain't got nearly enough money to be in a conversation with the Panthers. They got, with no, I said that. No, Yvette, you just trying to, woo, 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 woo. Okay. He doesn't own industry. He doesn't go and look at some of the owners in your spare time. Go look at some of the owners. I'm not trying to be mean to nobody, but just go look at them. You ain't got to take my word for it. He was never in contention, but that is something that they do just to kind of get you excited. Yeah, have y'all heard Diddy gonna buy the Panthers? Y'all be talking about that for 2 weeks. Yeah, I hope he do. I hope he buy it. And he showed them people. That's 2 weeks or 3 weeks or however long of energy and conversation and making us feel like we really making moves and we got people who can do some stuff. Only to have that whole thing come crashing down. And nobody talks about, yeah, man, they kept him out. I don't know why they do that kind of stuff. Wait a minute. No. Nobody, if you were there, you wouldn't know that nobody kept him out. He never had the money to do it in the first place. What are we talking about being kept out? No, we were kept, listen, we've gotten kept out through slavery, mass incarceration, convict leasing, sharecropping. That's how we got kept out. He's just there to make you feel like that we didn't get kept out. His job is to make you feel like we are in the room. His job is to make you feel like we do have players. His job is to make you feel like we have people who earn orange juice companies that do multi-million dollars a year, that farm eggs that do multi-million dollars a year, that we have ultra wealthy people. What means of distribution did Diddy ever own? I'm not talking about who he showed up for to say we're going to celebration, toast it. And that was because they said that Negroes had stopped drinking as much. So put Diddy out there too, right? I'm not talking about a marketer. See, the stuff that he did in that video with Cassie does not surprise me. Because I never thought of him as somebody who was above board in any kind of way. So what you find is that his secrets were just being held and kept and covered up. And then he tried to do, y'all see what he tried to do? He tried to do a little comeback. He tried to do a little comeback. He had, the son came out and did a little song, did a little ditty, and then took a little shot at 50 Cent or whatever, and did some other little stuff. And then they said, don't make no U-turn back. There ain't nobody coming back. And then somebody said, hey, listen to me close. Hey, listen to me. Ain't gonna be no comeback. You doing all this little comeback stuff, let me drop the video. Ain't gonna be no comeback. We're going to drop the video on you in case you thought, yeah, we see you talking about, you done went through this federal stuff and the people done been through your house and now you talking about a comeback. Hey, sir, please, come over here. Here the video is. No comeback. Yeah, and why should I be upset? Why should I be upset? Oh, they throwing Diddy away. Why should I be upset? You know how many people Diddy done threw away? How many of our people Diddy done threw away? Everybody from musicians to artists to everything, ruined their lives, had them under contract and all this. Why should I care? Listen, you threw away a bunch of people. They gonna throw you away. You didn't even understand your usefulness with social engineering. That's what got you. You think you're gonna sue somebody. I agree with you when you said what you said about you didn't have no access and you wasn't making no money. Byron said that. I know. Yeah, you're right. But that's not your job. And you and Byron are not the same. That's not your job. Your job was to convince these Negroes that they had a chance and that you were making money. And you were making the kind of money you were supposed to make, on par with what you were supposed to make. The minute you start saying, oh, no, that's not the truth, and the white man holding me down, you were here to convince us that the white man can't hold us down. We could do anything. Take that. So yes, they came for you. You didn't understand your job. Sometimes you have to understand your position, but I'm glad you didn't. I'm glad you didn't, because everything coming out now, child. It's a whole nother case out there. With biological evidence, they say. It was another Monica Lewinsky. I never threw away the dress. Oh, my Lord. A multi-million-dollar marketer. All for what for, fam? To divert our attention for years. Not just a day, not just a week. This man has been in the center of like lifestyle music, and he's a mogul. And I don't know how you can be a mogul without owning some of the means of production or software company, something like what? How does being a marketer, a EP, like turned marketer, how did that become like you all of a sudden a mogul? This is crazy. This is some crazy stuff we went through. All of a sudden, he said he didn't want to do it no more. He said he didn't want to do it no more. Man, I really wanted to go in there and be a part of the NFL and try to be a position of change. He said, this last move, though, I don't know. I don't even want to own an NFL team no more. I bet you don't. I bet you don't. I bet you don't have the money to own one either. I bet. I don't want to be associated with oppressing black men. I don't want, what? You, I know you lying. I don't want to be associated with telling grown men what they can and cannot do. He continued. See, let me tell you something. This is all talk. And I think sometimes we get messed up with talk and real negotiation. It's not like he put forth an offer with this many billion or million or what, and it just got rejected and they were in negotiations. You were just talking. Talking all of a sudden makes all kind of news because you were just talking. You're just having a conversation, and we're going to pick up on it like it's real. Listen, I don't want to hear about nothing being real. If it's real, show me the paperwork. Well, we got, I don't know. So wait a minute. I don't need to live vicariously through nobody. Listen, if there's the second thing you got to learn from this, your life is your life. Your kids' lives, your husband's life, your wife's life, your sister, brother, mom, and daddy, those are the lives you got to be concerned about. Stop being concerned about these celebrities. The thing that they're supposed to do is try to convince you that your life isn't your life and that your life has a whole lot of possibilities by the fact they wear Louis Vuitton and they have freak offs or whatever they have. And wouldn't you love to be here? No. Actually, I would not love to be there. No, I don't want to be nowhere. I don't need no pills or nothing. No, I'm all right. Gathering all these people together and all of a sudden, and then you wonder how they get to be the real heavy addicts. They was at Diddy house on the freak off. Like, and this stuff being passed around too much, you end up on some stuff. Well, they should have just, no, his job was to gatekeep. That's the whole game. His job is to gatekeep. They got to come through me. They got to come through me to get somewhere, and I'm going to make sure they don't get nowhere. So you wonder why you don't have another big ADOS artist, or wonder why we make all this music. We don't control nothing. They put the right gatekeeper in charge, and all the time y'all was cheering them. Yeah, I went in there, and I was going to buy some. I used to buy Grey Goose, but now I buy some rock, and you thought you was doing something. Because you changed vodka. You thought you was doing something. What is wrong with you? Oh, my goodness. Yeah, I support the black. No, that's not collective uplift. We're talking about politics. We're talking about organizing. We're talking about an agenda. We're talking about reparations. We're talking about working together in terms of politics. No, you don't want to do that. That's hard. You want to live vicariously through this man. Man, you seen that Diddy party? Man, what I wouldn't give. I got to marry me a good man, big man. I want to marry a boss. Y'all, let me say, I'm not going to be here no long time. I promise y'all, I'm not going to be here no long time. I hate it because I said it and nobody believed me. And let me tell you something else. This picture right here, P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, whatever this Negro's name is. Listen, I don't trust nobody who keeps changing their name either. I don't trust that. I don't care who you are. I don't trust it. Puff Daddy founds charter school in Harlem. I'm tired of this too. This reminds me of Jay Morrison. I'm tired of Negroes putting on these 3-piece suits and cufflinks and sitting at a desk acting like they Victor Newman from The Young and the Restless. My mom used to watch that. I'm tired of that. And you be like, oh, he a boss. Look at him at that desk. What that mean? It's so easy. It's just so easy. It's just so easy for us to get hook, line, and sinker in anything. Look at him. Look at that car he in. Oh, that's a bad car. Look at that desk. Oh, he a boss. I wish I could be a boss. Look at his cufflink. Look at his tie. Child, this is just a performance. This is a performance. Ain't no longevity here. What no longevity here? What even no longevity for the charter school? They said it was chaotic, allegedly. I've been blown away by how committed I Am Diddy has been to the cause of education and honor to. He chose Capital Prep. What happened to Capital Prep? None of this stuff lasted. None of this stuff lasted. All of y'all, we're gonna build our own. We're finna do our own. That's when we finna get it going. Everybody try to get on me. Yvette, you had us voting blue no matter who. No, I didn't. I didn't vote for Biden. I never told you to vote blue no matter who. But I know who did. I know who did. Diddy was out there for all of them. And now he's trying to switch. He tried to switch that up too. Well, guess what? That wasn't your job. They were paying you to convince us to do that. Kanye is loopy as a Fruit Loop, as far as I'm concerned, and I don't view him as a good person at all. So I'm not taking his side because y'all know he's just as dastardly as Diddy and selfish as Diddy. I mean, come on. But even he said, you be calling him because the Democrats want you to do a certain thing, and you call him pull his coattails. Sometimes people who going through things tell things. But y'all didn't say that to him. Oh, Diddy, why are you voting that? Why are you trying to get us to do that? We didn't have that conversation with him. Oh, Diddy, why are you trying to get us to vote blue no matter who? All these years he was running around with every Democrat, Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, and nobody said anything. Right? Everybody was fighting me. No, you just don't know. You just don't understand. He a boss. How you know? How you know what this man is? I'm just trying to figure out a few things, fam. I'm just trying to figure out a few. I'm trying to figure out how everybody, if you had been, and I don't mean, let me let this seat down. If I have been talking about, and those of you all who have been here for a while know, like we have been talking about Diddy and social engineering and all that stuff for a very long time. This is nothing new to this channel. This is nothing new to me. Right? So let me. How did y'all overlook everything? He has a history of socking people out. Like, or allegedly. Who was that? D Barnes or what her name was talking about, who was it? Dr. Dre or somebody? Everybody told y'all about everybody. They all told us he said the kettlebell incident was self-defense. Got a whole history, not just with the Shine thing. Got a whole history of going back. I don't know a lot of moguls who have a whole history of going back trying to sock people out, allegedly, and doing all kind of stuff. So all of a sudden you ignore all the evidence, and all of a sudden you shocked. I said socked. No, you didn't get socked out, but all of a sudden you shocked. I never could imagine. Diddy did that. He said, what made him think he could do it? Because you treated him that way. Why wouldn't he think he could do it? Why wouldn't he have a God complex? He could do no wrong in our community. Why wouldn't he have a God complex? We let him say, do whatever. We live vicariously. A lot, not me, but a lot of us live vicariously through him. That's a whole nother problem. We live vicariously through a lot of people. Let me go to the next one. Y'all remember when they the best friends now? Y'all remember when him and Steve Stout? He came in there because of that "You Can Hate Me Now" video and started throwing chairs and champagne bottles and boop, pop, 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 boop, pop. Come on, fam. There's a history here. I mean, if there's a third thing you can do, know people by their track record. People have a track record. This track record ain't hid, but everybody always making excuses. No, I bet you what happened. It was the white coach. Yeah, I know that, but he got a track record that aligns with that. Are we gonna pay attention to the track record or not? Okay, I got you. Black excellence, right? Oh. How many times? Go look up how many times Diddy has been in the auxiliary to violence. Right? Go look. Just you ain't gotta don't trust my lying eyes. Just go look for yourself. Let me tell y'all what Diddy was. Let me tell y'all what Diddy did. Diddy gave y'all fake proof. Y'all remember during the Nixon administration, it was Nixon who said, y'all don't need no help, do you? You don't want no money. You don't know. That's what the whole thing we talk about. We don't want to get no welfare. Y'all know where that came from. The Diddy out there, that's when it was President Nixon who started that whole, shout out to Reggie from Boston who started who calls it the Nixonian Dodge, right? Where he said, you don't want no handout. You just want to do business, right? And we said, Yeah, we just want to do business. We want no handout. First of all, everybody goes to Capitol Hill to get money. There are allotments. That's what lobbyists do for people. Go get money. Okay. But then President Nixon didn't give us anything, any seed capital, small business loans, nothing. He just gave us words. And we struck out. Yeah, we're going to go do it. No protections, no nothing. This is the same thing that Diddy is doing here, right? He's just giving you proof that potential exists. He is the encapsulation of the potential of the community. He represents the potential that we believe exists. You remember that dude Charles Wu with the whole boy stuff? You remember him? He said that the way you get, he said very clearly, he said the way you get ADOS people to buy stuff is you talk empowerment. He says you got to talk about getting the white man off your back and you just say this product will do it. How many people sell products that say the same thing? People sell products, people sell documentaries, people sell all kinds of things and says, listen, this is what we're going to need to get the man off your back. Diddy was a representation that the man is already off your back. And if you can make it, I can do it. The man went and ran a marathon. He went and did all kind of stuff as proof. He was proof that America was post-racial. And if you can't do it, it's your fault. And people fell for it hook, line, and sinker. Now they got to go find somebody else because he started filing lawsuits. He even dumbed down hip hop. What he the one who said, I don't write rhymes, I write checks. Oh, shut up. So what is a poet without writing poetry? People say, well, songwriters don't write songs, but they sing. You're supposed to be a poet. Somebody else write my poetry. Well, what are you here for? Don't nobody want to act like they got no sense. That's what he's here for. He was always here to make you believe in America that doesn't exist. So now we have a resurgence of the right wing and everything that's happening and they running around. Oh my God, the neo-Confederates are worse than ever. And everybody's just been running around looking at Diddy, believing it. And now it's gone. All them years of attention you invested in this man and buying Ciroc over Grey Goose, all them years, and poof, just like that, it's over with. Y'all remember that was supposed to be generational wealth. They got family wealth. Their family's going to have something. They're going to pass it down, and that's going to build and build and build. No, because it was never theirs. It wasn't that kind of money. That money was linked to white money. That was marketing for white capital in this country. That's not the same thing. And that thing that we want comes through collective uplift of us working together for our politics. It doesn't come through one millionaire or billionaire. I never believed he was a real billionaire, but it doesn't come through one millionaire or two. History of violence. He got into it with J. Cole. Let me just read this. This is because people be talking about J. Cole, soft J. Cole, and J. Cole almost blew up Diddy. In 2013, Combs was allegedly involved in an altercation with J. Cole at a 2013 MTV VMAs after party. Multiple sources alleged to Complex that a visibly intoxicated Combs accosted Kendrick Lamar about his fiery verse on Big Sean's Control, where he bragged he was the king of New York. Combs allegedly tried to pour a drink on Kendrick before Cole intervened and they got into a fight. That's a track record. That's a track record. Didn't he also try to sock out Drake? Oh, he might have sent Drake to the hospital, like allegedly. I'm just saying, did he? This is a history. Who peed on Drake's leg? But never mind. But this is a history, right? Of behavior that nobody wanted to hear. No. Well, he must have whatever happened. That's a history. That's a history. J. Cole ain't no gangster rapper. J. Cole ain't no what it take for you to die. Him to have to get between you. J. Cole is tall though. Over a verse. Yo, old self. You ought to be. These selfish people. Like he gotta be in his 50s. These people so selfish. That's 10 years ago. He was in his 40s, and you want to fight somebody about who the king of New York is. You're a child. You're a boy. Because mentally, if you want to fight somebody, if you want to fight Kendrick Lamar over a verse about the king of New York, then I'll let you know he ain't no mogul. Don't no mogul need to move like that. Don't no mogul need to act like that. You don't behave like that. People should feel that they are the best. And Kendrick Lamar proved it. But people should feel like they are the best at what they do. Who are you to try to pour a drink on somebody, you goofy, goofy, goofy man? Like this is child behavior. This is kid stuff. How in the world did you believe somebody with that temperament was a boss? You can't even control yourself. All these incidents, this is a lack of self-discipline. But he ran that marathon, right? Black excellence, right? He just said that and made everybody forget. Like, he made everybody forget his behavior by just shouting. I guess you can shout black excellence 3 times and click your heels, your wingtip shoes, your double monk Oxfords, and everything will be all right, right? People have a track record. Don't listen to what they say. Look at what they do. Look at how they're connected. Whole bunch of charges. That was in 2019. Let's see what else we got. Oh, yes, yeah. Before that, it was Hillary. Everybody, yeah. He just playing the game, Yvette. Wait a minute. He what? He doing what? Yvette, he just playing the game. You don't know he just playing the game. No, that ain't no game. That's his job. Ain't no game. That's his job. That's why he was there for Hillary. That's his job. No, ain't no game. He's with everybody. That's his job, to get you out to vote, to get you to believe that we're post-racial and we don't need everything. We got the same 24 hours in a day, black excellence, get out and go do it, get the bag, all these little simpleton answers. Listen, life is not this simple. Now, there are simple elements to life. Like, yeah, anything you do, you got to work hard for it. That's just an element. It's like baking a cake. What I've said before is that, like, a cake is a cake, but you have to have all the ingredients. You can't walk in a room with eggs and sugar and say, I'm finna bake a cake. Well, baby, where's your flour? What kind of cake? Baking soda? What we doing? The ingredients to them continuing his flow of money was to play that game. But the ingredients to real success, right, include politics. You cannot show me anybody that does not make demands on Capitol Hill. People like Boyce Watkins and a bunch of other people used to make the case, Asians don't make demands. And you just saw these past 10 years, they make all the demands. His voice, vote or die. That's all I got to say. Vote or die. Right? All the rooms, not knowing nothing. Black excellence, ladies and gentlemen. That's all he got to say. You'll forget everything this man did as long as he says black excellence. Everything he did, everybody he allegedly did it to, every artist he allegedly, took from and wouldn't let him out of his contract. All he got to do is stand beside something called black excellence. Listen, please start this day forward watching what people do and not just watching what they say. Please start understanding what builds wealth and what was taken from us and what was plundered from us. Please start understanding that. And not just getting hypnotized by a cute Instagram photo, while in real life, this man is dragging his girl and stomping her out. Please, the signs are always there. Ladies and gentlemen, the signs are always there. Now, let me just tell you something. The signs are there with Jay-Z too. What's better than one billionaire too? What they gonna do with me? Let me tell you, when these people eat, you don't get nothing. So what in the world is that? What's better than 1, 2? 2? You know how many million $8 he's talking about 2? And nobody said anything except for us. It was just Yvette and Antonio just talking. Salesmen, marketers. I'm going to market you something. Market something for you to buy, to pass on to white capital. That's not a boss move. That's not a boss. That's a very good marketer for a very long time. Uber, Super Bowl ad. That's not a boss. That's an ad. Stay with me. I'm almost done. That's not a boss. That is an advertisement. This man has held your aspirations for years and he is gone. I mean, some people should be really devastated. For years, this has been the holder of all aspiration of Adolph's life. Look at what he's doing. You feel bad about your life, man. I saw Diddy, man. I got to get to it. I got to get to it. I got to get to it. Get to what? Well, Diddy got to it. They be picturing him with bosses. Sean John. That was Unforgivable was the fragrance, I think. So that's enough. That's enough for us. You put us right beside some bosses and ooh, we get excited. Let me tell y'all, they know us better than we know ourselves. The people who are manipulating us, they know us better than we know ourselves. Let's just go through it. Yeah, 2006 show for the fashion brand. He was walking through there, yeah. Now, I want to say, when I say Jay-Z's in that too, I just want to say one thing. You know people by their actions. Jay-Z walked into this football stuff, right? I just want to remind everybody while we're talking about how we know people and what they do before we get out of here. Jay-Z walked into that room and said, we're past kneeling. And he gave y'all some Super Bowl halftime shows. And he gave y'all some apparel, some Inspire Change t-shirts. So what you gave up kneeling for, because Jay-Z walked in the room, and obviously that was some kind of something folks thought was important. He walked in the room and we stopped this whole conversation about, and I have mixed feelings, but you don't stop it for no t-shirt. So all of this stuff stopped because he walked in the room and said, we're past nearly what we're going to do about it. And there's an Inspire Change, some shirts, and there was some money was going to go to charity, and some Super Bowl stuff that was tied to him making him money. And in the end, nobody benefited but him. And everybody let him do it because he's Jay-Z. Don't get mad at me. Y'all got to stop shooting the messenger, because every time I say some stuff, no. What's that little thing? What are you doing to me? I'm right. Why are you booing? I'm right. No. That didn't change anything. Kaepernick didn't come back to play nowhere. Nothing changed on the street. But Jay-Z got a deal to do stuff for the football teams and manage the halftime and all that stuff. And it was some t-shirt money and it was some little ugly t-shirts too. And that's the end of it. And in this era, ladies and gentlemen, in this era, it's time for everybody to grow up. It's time for everybody to stop believing in the possibility of these millionaires who call themselves billionaires and represent you. He should never have been in the room to represent you and talk about what was going to come next with kneeling. He don't have that level of expertise or that level of love for his people, and you can't convince me otherwise. If that kneeling is getting attention, I'm not going to sit in there with a room full of white folk and say we're past that. Who are you to say we past that? Who elected you? Who are you to say who we are and what we gonna do? And then talk about selling some t-shirts. We have gotten to the level, honestly. This is just ridiculous. This is foolishness. The National Football League and Rock Nation, an entertainment company founded by Jay-Z, announced the first major aspects of their partnership Friday with an apparel line called Inspire Change and a music showcase titled Songs of the Season. Slow blink. TMZ Sports reported the first concert will take place Thursday night in Chicago ahead of the first NFL game of the league's 100th season, with Meek Mill, Megan Trainor, and Rhapsody performing before the Chicago Bears face the Green Bay Packers. Proceeds from the apparel line will help fund programs around the United States that focus on economic empowerment, police and community relations, and criminal justice reform. And nobody said nothing. Well, some people said something, but not enough people said nothing. People said he's in the room. He's in the room with bosses. See, we love people be in the room with bosses, not what they doing in the bosses, not that they really are advocating for you with bosses. He in the room with the bosses. He in the room with owners, man. That makes him a boss. He a boss in the room with bosses. How you move in a room full of snakes? Like a snake. Nobody ever thought about that. But you move in a room full of snakes like a snake. That's how most people move in that room. Yeah, this is what I just read from. Yeah. Listen, fam. Listen. We have a lot to learn. And I'm gonna let y'all call in, but I think part of the problem is that we don't want to do the work. We don't want to do the work. Like, there's a laziness there in terms of I can just buy something empowering, right? But there's also this idea that we kind of want to exploit people too. So we're kind of jealous. If I could take advantage of somebody, I would. I ain't never had that thought. And let me just help y'all understand something too. This is not the pre-telecom era where you could become a star. Like you could call in, pump it or dump it, and we could decide what was good. No, we're past that. Stardom is manufactured now. And it is somebody, white capital is backing you, or there is no stardom. And if you want to know what I mean about backing, how many times have I talked about Nicole Hannah-Jones lifting all of the ADOS concepts and taking credit for them and winning prizes based on them? And you can say, well, how is that possible, Yvette? She has the backing of the New York Times. Backing is so powerful in this country. Until you get your reparations and until we do collective uplift and do the actual work, backing is everything. Don't you think about these people as these kind of self-made people. If you can look at Nicole Hannah-Jones and see everything she's lifted, and we've talked about it on this show, I don't want to get into it, but if you can look at that and see every idea that was lifted and see her pass that off, what do you think these other people are doing? What do you think they're passing off and taking advantage of? Because they are backed. Startup is manufactured. It's about who backs you. That's what this is about. What aspects of white capital are backing you, and how long are they going to do it? What we should be asking though, in terms of our collective uplift, is what are the dynamics that make our oppression possible, right? And those are the dynamics that we have to undo. Who cares if there's a ADOS multimillionaire? Who cares? Like, we have to be most concerned about ourselves and the people in our lives and our community. Now, to the extent that you can help with that, I don't care who you are, good. But it can't just be charitainment. That's just charitable stuff where it doesn't change the structure of the oppression. It just throws some money at it. That's not enough. Great, but that's not enough. And our focus has to be, how do we undo these systems? Because oppression, racism, and this racialized caste in this country, it is systemic. And those systems have to be undone. And it will not be undone with you buying some Ciroc, right? It will not be undone. It will not be undone. You can go do it, but it's not going to do anything. It will not be undone by none of that. These systems are complex systems, and we have to be complex people. And this just wasn't do it. And prayers to Cassie and anybody else who has gone through and been a victim of this person. But we have to get better in terms of our own discernment. Ain't nobody perfect. I understand that, but it's time. Improvement is absolutely necessary. So, fam, I am going to leave it right there. I am going to take a break, and then I will bring it to the phones. If you want to call in, please do so. And we can have a conversation. All right? What's up, family? I am back, and I'm going to go straight to the calls. I'm going now to 678 678. What's your name? Where you calling from? And what's on your mind?
Hi. Hello. Good evening.
Hey.
I am calling. Can you hear me?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I'm calling from Massachusetts. There's a bit of a lag, but I'm calling in from Massachusetts.
Okay.
And I wanted to just chime in on what you were saying about Diddy.
Okay.
So I'm someone I've called into your show before.
Okay.
I'm someone who's lived in different parts of the world, and now I live in the U.S. And I just wanted to say, like, this thing with Diddy is it's not just the end of Diddy. I think people are not seeing the bigger picture. This is the end of hip hop, in my opinion. This is the absolute end of the ADOS community, the FBA community. I don't know whichever one, but ADOS.
ADOS all day. We don't have nothing to do with FBA.
Yeah, in hip hop.
Okay.
Okay. Yes, ma'am.
That's fine.
This is the end of the ADOS community in hip hop. The reason I say this is because if you look at, because I'm looking at it from the business side, because I've worked in the business side of the music industry, and on an international level, you're looking at a lot of international artists are coming in as America becomes a lot more, I guess, different. International acts are coming in and they're selling out, and their tickets are going up. And when you have people like UMG and Sony and Warner Music, they're looking at, for them, this is about dollars. And I believe that they have sucked up all the money from Black Americans. They have sucked up the money. They have sucked up the talent, the influence. They've sucked up all of it. So it's going to go back to the 90s and the 80s where Black American music, rap, hip-hop goes back to being underground. And the commercial acts now become like, the Burna Boys and all these guys. And not necessarily because they are better, but that's just because that's what's selling. And I believe it's also more of like an image thing. I believe like hip-hop has an image problem.
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost like they're cleaning house. I don't really know how to explain this because if you worked in the music industry, a lot of this stuff would make sense. But I believe that they're trying to clean house, and they're trying to put out this like globalization. You get what I mean. They're trying to put out this like globalization type image. Like for example, when I
Afrobeats.
When I would listen to the radio, you don't really hear international stuff very much now. I'm hearing like Bollywood radio stations, and I'm that people in Indians lobbied for in Houston. I go to concerts from like Sikh artists and they're selling out. I mean, they're doing like Beyonce numbers, and don't think these big musicians. I mean, these big record labels aren't looking like, okay, we have all these Indians in America, these Nigerians, these Hispanics, and I mean, Bad Bunny, he was like the #1 on Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
So I believe like this isn't just an indictment on Diddy. This is an indictment on hip hop because I don't think anybody gives a crap about Diddy's bad behavior. He's been this way for 35 years. Nobody cares. But I believe they can no longer bleed him dry anymore. So they can no longer bleed the ADOS community dry anymore. And I believe they just no longer have a need for Black American rappers. And also remember, most Black Americans don't speak a second language. So if you don't speak Spanish, if you don't speak Punjabi, Tamil, whatever, they're not even checking for you right now. So especially the reggaeton is so big right now. So that's just kind of my 2 cents.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. And I do. And you make a good point. I appreciate it. I'm gonna let you go and just try to get to a few more people. But I think you have a point in terms of the globalization piece, right? Like, if we have people, that's another aspect of it. Listen, you're trying to sue us, right? And you're talking about what you didn't get and what you don't get, as a hip hop artist. But I can get people who are fresh off the boat and who've never had anything. And I don't mean that in a mean way, but who never had anything, and they're going to be very happy with whatever they receive, right? So that's a possibility, But listen, you get in, you play with who you play with. That's all I can say about it. That's all I can say. Coming right now to 843. What's your name? Where you calling from? What's on your mind?
Hi, how you doing, sister?
I'm doing good.
Oh, I got some technical difficulties. Give me a second.
I don't think it's you. I think the callers are coming in low for some reason. I don't know why though. They're coming in. Y'all are coming in low.
Let me turn you up. I got a deep voice. You know, last time I called, y'all called me Barry White. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Talk to you again. I haven't talked to you in a long time. Out of South Carolina, you know, the plantation state, son of a slave. What's up, ADOS fam? Yeah, this Diddy thing, that veil, that decorative veil, tissue. You can see through it, spit through it now. Oh yeah, it's over with. You know, I remember when I first was introduced to you, and I called and talked to you, and I saw it then. Like I knew people would come, and you will have the ruffians. Then you will get rid of them. Now you got people coming trying to letting you know you are the voice of this movement. You and Tom, you did great.
Oh, thank you, fam.
Things you brought data, you brought numbers when we can go and tell people things now. You know,
we had that conversation.
We knew it was wrong, but we didn't have the avenues and the specific facts and points to point to. They'll keep talking their talking points, and we had no data to point to, but now we got the data, and it's going down.
Well, and I tell people, like, it's changed the whole context of the way people have conversations. It's changed the whole context of the way people have debates online and elsewhere. So, yeah, no, you're exactly right.
So I was surprised you did the puffy thing, though. I was like, man, there's so many things going on besides the puffy. But I understand, though, because of the gravity of outside of that, because it's more to this. You guys have been telling us this, been pointing it out for years, and you've been nice about it. We're already over the cliff, but you haven't told it that yet. With the social programming, I mean, that's right on point. Everybody asking, what's wrong with us? We're programmed, and that's for real. Like, for real, for real. I'm going to start introducing the study I was trying to put online about Death Squared by John B. Calhoun. He was appointed the mental health, the big dog back then, you know, during those periods, during the CIA. And believe me, they played CIA games on us. They didn't want another Martin King, Malcolm X, or anything like that. And they gave us the Diddlers and the Diddies and whatever else they had. And the Dylan Roofs and all that. And I'm not going to name too much because I don't want to get you in trouble, because y'all been doing a good job.
I appreciate you keeping me online. I appreciate you. Let me stay on YouTube.
I want you to say something, though, but I don't know. I should have been quiet.
No, you got that. You got it, like they say.
What's next?
Hey, what's next is the conference. I mean, the summit. So, I mean, you know, and we got to do what we got to do. But I'm going to let you go, caller. I appreciate you calling. I appreciate everything you said. I'm just trying to get to a couple more calls. I don't want to be here too long today, but thank you. I appreciate you. And I think people have to understand that, like, a lot of the stuff that you don't think is political is absolutely political, right? Like, you know, shout out to and I'm not trying to shout anybody out in a bad way, but the gentleman who said everybody was talking about Diddy was scum or something like that in the chat. And it's kind of like, no, we're not talking just about like this person being a bad person. We're talking about how this person is being used by politics to present a certain thing. That kind of understanding was not there. It was just like, he's a bad person. He's taking advantage of people. Yeah, that's there, but it's bigger than that. Anyway, let me go to 469. 469, what's your name? Where you calling from? What's on your mind?
Hey, how you doing?
Oh, I can't hear you at all. Speak up for me.
My name is Troy. I'm calling from Dallas. Can you hear me clearly?
I can hear you a little bit better. I don't know why y'all are coming in low to me. Go on. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm on my headset, but I'll try to speak up as loud as I can. I just want to call in to talk about, the first caller made an interesting point about how this is the end of hip-hop as far as an establishment in the entertainment force, because they are rolling in the multicultural genres of rap, you know, as far as the Afro-pop, the Caribbean pop, and since those have global reach and audience. But more so directly speaking to Jay-Z, and they just came out today and announced that they're getting ready to break up Live Nation. There's an antitrust lawsuit that's been filed. So, you know, and Live Nation, you know, Jay-Z has Rock Nation, which is a subsidiary of Live Nation. So these deals that they have, these shows pretty much guarantee that they have access to perform. Pretty much all the artists that are on tour and perform on Live Nation or Live Nation stages are signed to a Live Nation or a Live Nation subsidiary. So the whole in the mobile and the entertainment industry that Diddy and Jay-Z have been playing off, the smoke and mirrors is definitely up. So the timing of all this stuff is quite interesting. So I just wanted to drop that in the mix, and I'll let the next caller come in, and I appreciate you for taking
No, thank you. I appreciate you. And listen, if the puppeteer decides that the puppet's time is up and need a new puppet, then that's what it is. That's what it is when you beat a puppet. When you beat a puppet, the puppeteer might be like, you know what? I'm gonna make a new one. They can always make a new one. What you thought? You thought you was in your 50s and they weren't gonna make a new one? It's also like you don't project young no more. I don't care how much y'all dye y'all hair, whatever. Like you don't project young anymore. I don't. That's not something normal people will. I can't say some of y'all. I can't, but like this is like hip hop and a lot of these genres are young people's sports, for lack of a better term. And like somebody else should be in that seat now. Right? Like if you were a mogul, you would just go and do business and do investments in this point. You're always everywhere. You have to be seen. You went back and did an album or whatever. And like really and truthfully, a lot of these people are taking the space of younger people, 20s and even 30s who are trying to do work and trying to like do stuff. And it's just like, you just can't leave the stage. Somebody have to yank you off. Not in this way, but listen, you didn't build yourself and when you don't build yourself and you don't have when you have your whole group has been plundered in quite a pickle. Thank you, fam. I appreciate you. You have a good one. Pickle. Quite a pickle. Let me go to going down to 301. 301. What's your name? Where you calling from? What's on your mind?
Hey, good evening, Yvette. This is calling out in PG County, Maryland, home of the most psychotic Negroes in America. outside of Atlanta.
Now, Atlanta is the home of the plastic Negroes.
Right.
100% fraudulent.
I look at the last few years and, I see the fall of Diddy, Sean Combs, call these Negroes by their government, on people like Sean Combs, Russell Simmons, Dame Dash, Suge Knight. Some say that, Jay-Z is next on the chopping block. And to be honest with you, it couldn't have come a moment sooner. Really good riddance to bad rubbish. I think the old time expression is. And, for me, they really represent what I remember to be the Clintonomics aspirations for black men in the 90s and even today. But, sharp elbows, sharp knees, get the bag, however you got to get it, very Nino Brown, New York. And, the black men were hoisted up who had no education, no expertise, no training. And that's not to be elitist, but I mean, shit, Jay-Z even bragged about being a drug dealer. Yeah. I mean, can we have a better standard
isn't that the training now though, right? Like, if you say, hey, I know about business because I graduated from this school, isn't the thing to say now, well, he got it from the street. Don't we have somebody now, and I won't talk about who they are, but their claim to fame is that they learned how to do stocks in the penitentiary. And Jay Morrison did the same thing. I mean, Jay Morrison did the same thing. He said, I learned from the street. So it's like that you will have somebody who went to like a Negro who went to like Wharton School of Business or somewhere else. And it'll be like, well, no, I want to talk to the person who learned it behind bars,
And, for somebody like Jay-Z, I could halfway respect the idea of him being, a drug dealer turned business mogul. If he was somebody who had like an international, cocaine cartel, Escobar or something, when this Negro was a corner boy at best. At best, he was a duffel bag boy who could buy himself a new pair of Jordans every week.
He wasn't moving on, yeah.
But, these black men were used to inspire another generation of black men not to be leaders and husbands and fathers and protectors and providers for black families and communities, but to be drug dealers and gangsters and degenerates and whoremongers, and that, you know, if they live this lifestyle, they can buy light-skinned women, they can buy white adjacent women, and even worse, it really helped to demobilize politically another generation of young men that instead of asking, wait a minute, where are the jobs? Where is the path to middle class America through, you know, free education or damn near free education, manufacturing jobs and all of these things? Where are the opportunities for me outside of being a rapper? And, you know, I was going through some of your old videos a few days ago, and this talk is so apropos because I was watching the video where you dissected, you know, Oprah as the ultimate aspiration and aberration, if you will, of neoliberal politics.
I remember that.
And this is really all Jay-Z and Sean Combs and the rest of them have been used for. They are pawns. They're useful idiots that are being used as these neoliberal aspirations where you can conjure out of thin air this lifestyle of chains and private jets and women and jet setting. All you need is a hit record. All you got to do is learn the game, and then you can be selling liquor too.
Well, no, they don't. But see, they don't tell you the truth. They don't see that's the thing too. They didn't tell you that they were selling liquor. They told you they were a boss. People have wanted to punch me because I said they don't own these companies. They don't own the buildings. They don't own distribution. They sold it to you as like, this is mine. I'm a boss. And so they didn't even say that. Like, I think people would even look at it differently if they had been honest. Like, I'm marketing for something, right? Like, they would have looked at it differently. And I you know, so and don't. But no, you go ahead, fam. I'm sorry.
No, I was pretty much done because, you know, I'm agreeing with a lot of the callers. And, you know, even if I zoom out, even looking at it beyond the music industry, with everything that's happening in Hollywood too, you know, these men being brought down, you know, because of their sexual indiscretions, you know, with people actually having to pay attention to real fucking problems like paying their bills, like keeping a roof over their head, you know, like putting food on the table. You know, not only do they not have time to indulge in this foolishness, but then you see, oh, wow, you know, the music industry and Hollywood in general, you know, it's on fire. And who's catching fire? A bunch of pedophiles and degenerates, you know, one way or another. And so, you know, I think it's really a long time coming that these men, these false prophets, are being taken down, and it's not a moment too soon. And more than anything, I hope that in the wake of it is really a grassroots, and it's happening, and you and Tone are doing it. But I really hope that it continues to inspire a sort of grassroots ethos with ADOS people, Black American people, about the reality of our economic and social condition and the political steps that we need to do to change that.
I agree with you, fam. I absolutely agree. I don't have anything to add to what you said. And somebody in the comments said when we were talking about them not being real bosses, Jay-Z didn't even know what a liquor was. Remember, he said that in his lawsuit. I don't know what a liquor was. I don't understand.
Yeah, he said that he didn't even know where the factories or something. I mean, if you
they hiding it from me. They hiding it.
That's your factory.
Yeah, but they told us, like, this is my company. These people, they doing real business. They doing business out here. I don't know. I think they hiding the liquor sales and the liquor. I don't know. This ain't right. This got to be stopped. So, yeah, you're right, fam. I agree with you.
Say this before,
sure, go ahead.
I'll say this before I go. You know, I just remember Jay-Z. It was Jay-Z and Jermaine Dupri. You know, they were the ones in the video. What was it? In the Ferrari and Jaguar, Sutra Fold Lane.
Mm-hmm. Money ain't a thing.
Money ain't a thing. You know, that was the lifestyle that they sold to us. Well, come to find out, you know, they really weren't ballers.
And money is a thing.
They weren't living that lifestyle. And money is
That's the thing.
you read my mind because I was just about to say money is a real thing and black people don't have it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and the way we get it is through, and the way we get it is through collectivity, through working together and understanding. All this competitive, I prefer collaboration over competition on most things every day, except for people who are toxic, and that's just what we have to be at. I appreciate you, fam. Great call.
Thank you so much, Yvette.
You have a good one. Wow stuff, boy. Let me go to 914. What's your name? Where you calling from? What's on your mind?
Hey, how you doing? My name is Alan.
What's going on?
Great show today.
Thank you.
I think it's great. I think one of our major problems is when we see somebody gain finances and get to a certain level, we seem to just think that they're knowledgeable on everything. And I don't think because you're a great magician that you know a lot about activism or being an activist. I don't think it's one and the same, but we in our culture, we have this thing of when people make a lot of money, it's like, oh, listen to this person for whatever they say because they got money.
That's what they told me. Fam, I'll stop you right there and tell you that you're right. When I started, you can go back and look at my Jay-Z video where I said he isn't deep, right? I think that video got like 200,000 views. And half the comments, half the people who even reached out to me said, who are you to say what he is and what he's not? You don't have his money. That cannot be the marker of like whether or not somebody is right or wrong or whether or not they have a point or not. But go on, fam.
Right. So I don't remember like back in the days when it was like civil rights issues were strong and it was like big issues, right? Segregation and all that. I never seen anybody go to ask, let's say, Ray Charles or Sam Cooke to lead a march, right? They would ask the guys that were activists. They would ask Martin
You can't even.
King.
I hate to keep.
That were involved in that.
I hate to keep interrupting you, fam, but we can't.
We do it different now.
You're right. That those people were support, but we ain't even talking about those entertainers. We talking about. Child, sometimes when you talk about entertainers, some of these people, when you talk about hip hop, it's not even that. It's about, do you want to go ask the dope dealer? So I'm just saying, like, we gotta be on it. What is this? A lot of people, this is just, I'm just saying, like, this is not Sam Cooke, or this is not. I'm just saying, this is not Harry Belafonte.
Oh, no. I'm not.
Yeah,
no.
I know you're not saying that. Yeah, I know you're not saying that. I just want to make clear.
Musician and musician. That's all I'm saying. Like entertainer and entertainer.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, Sam Cooke, Jay-Z, Ray Charles, they all way different. 100%. You know what I'm saying? And that era of individuals was different. They were more community than individual.
Yep. And you gotta be.
So I do respect that perspective, but we need to stop, buying into this. Oh, this guy's a gazillionaire, and not to mention me personally. I just think the metrics on billionaires is being done different now than it was done 20 years ago. Maybe they just want to include some black folks to make it seem like we're not that far behind.
Yeah, because if we,
I don't even think they're doing the math the same anymore.
But no, they're hiding. Antonio did something about this a while ago, but they hiding, or maybe he just told me, but they hiding some of these numbers again. But you're exactly right. They did that so that we would not, like, if we really disaggregated, looked at our specific group and looked at the numbers, we would be in the street somewhere because it's that bad. So they have to keep us focused on something or somebody else. But I do believe that they getting ready to try to close this gate too. And everybody's looking the other way. But I'm gonna let you go, fam. I'm interrupting you because you're making good points, though.
Have a good night.
You too. You have a good one. I'm sorry, but he made a couple good points. I just had to chime in. It was some good points. So that's gonna be my cause for the night, fam. Because I done tired myself out. I ain't. This ain't the same. Look, this ain't the same event from 10 years ago. That's why I be telling people. Jay-Z and them acting young, whatever. Y'all better. Diddy dyeing his hair, and what they say, his hairline changed. Well, he probably went to Turkey like the rest of them. He did some stuff. I don't know, but fam, listen. I'm gonna leave it at that. We got some change. We got some changes we gotta make. And I want y'all to go back, and if you get a chance, go back and look at that Jay-Z video where I said he's not deep. Where he said we got to buy art, and everybody said, "Oh my God, he's deep. We do have to buy art like the other people." I want you to go back and listen to 444. That just go back and look at it, and go back and listen to it, and go back and then look at that Jay-Z video I did from whatever year that is. Right? I just want people to start paying attention. And I hope this is the end of that era, because the first part of this era, those of you who remember, you remember, like this 2015, 16, almost like it was always just fighting quote unquote black celebrity, and the idea of black celebrity, the idea of we had money. And that's kind of what made Boys possible too, is this idea, these people are here. He was doing videos with Dame Dash. It's just like, I bet you know what he's talking about. Now all of that is unraveling. And so we have to have a politics that speaks to us, not us living aspirationally through those people. And I think that's what we got to be. That's what we got to be. And good. Hey, fam, we got to do it. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. But I'm going to let y'all get out of here a little bit earlier, hopefully, than usual. And I'll see y'all next time. And please keep it easy breezy. Finish your libation. Don't bother nobody. Don't let nobody bother you. Don't let nobody convince you that these celebrities got big money and all this kind of stuff and you ain't seen no bank account. Don't let nobody play you for a fool no more. We're not doing that no more. It's about politics, collective uplift. I will see y'all October 3rd through the 5th in New Orleans for the Reparations Summit. Please go to reparationsummit.com and get your tickets, and we're gonna do some politics. We're gonna have a good time too. We like to enjoy each other. We like to fellowship, but we're gonna do some politics. So we got to get this thing together, because this train is off the track, ladies and gentlemen. I will see y'all next time. You have a good night. Whew. Let me see, boy. Have night, y'all. Bye.